Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to start with lecture 3 of classical poetry. First part, Paradise Lost. Introduction. Paradise Lost as an epic poem. Paradise Lost. The lecture 1 is divided into two parts. In the first part, we will see the background to the poem and the poem itself, the structure of the poem. In the second part, we will discuss about the characters in the poem. So let us start with the first lecture, first part of the lecture 3. Classical poetry. Lecture outcomes are: first, background to the poem. Second point is what the poem is about. And the third part is characters in the poem. Assignment. Paradise Lost as an epic poem. Now we start the lecture. First, I would like to give you some brief background to the poem Paradise Lost. So, political, social, and other backgrounds. Milton was in the age. It was the age of transition, the age of political, social unrest. And we also know that in this era, civil war also broke out, and it is the era when the King of England was executed for the first time in the history of English people. So the first point that I started I would like to start with is in the 17th century, Milton was a successful poet. As in the life history of John Milton in the biography and the era of Milton, we have discussed all these things in detail. Milton was a successful poet and a political activist. He wrote scathing pamphlets against corruption in Anglican churches and their ties to King Charles I. So in this part, he was against the government. He was writing against his own rulers and has polemic views about the religion, about the politics. Second point is Puritanism. Having politically radical views, Milton was also jailed for recording such practices on papers. Although he has political views, he was antithetic to the policies, to the rules of the government, but the mistake was that he wrote all things in his pamphlets, in his writings. So it was a very big crime on the behalf of him. Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is a series of arguments put forth by characters which in turn ultimately express Milton's personal truth. In that sense, it is a puritanical work. Whatever he believed, whatever he wrote in his earlier books, what the arguments he had with other government people, government members, he ultimately shaped them and forged them into the form of characters and represented in his great work Paradise Lost. So in the Paradise Lost, it expresses Milton's personal truth. So it is regarded as puritanical work also. Paradise Lost had contemplated the composition of the poem for many years before its publication. As I have mentioned in the earlier lectures that when he got blinded in 1952 after the death of his first wife, and he started writing, he started composing the poem Paradise Lost. So it is not that in 1667 he composed and published the poem, but it had years of hard work and effort that is behind the publication of this work. Next point is, for submatter, he chose the fundamentals of Christian theology. He used Christian myths, Christian religion in order to express his views, in order to express his thoughts, in order to express his mind. Next point is, by the time he started to write the poem, Milton had become blind, dictated the entire work to his secretaries that I have already mentioned earlier. What it is about. Paradise Lost. It follows the exploits of a hero or anti-hero. When you study Paradise Lost, the first beginning, from the first very beginning of the book, you come acquainted with the character of Satan, who is the very prominent figure among all his books. So some people say him a hero, some people say him an anti-hero. So if we go through the lines, we will find out that it mainly describes the adventures or the actions or the exploits of Satan. So the general perception is that it is about the exploits of Satan. Second point, what is in this book? It involves warfare and supernatural. Warfare, there is a fight, there is fight between the angels, there is fight between the Michael and Satan, and supernatural machinery is there. It begins in the midst of an action with earlier crisis in history brought out later by flashback, and it expresses the ideals and traditions of a people. So in accordance with the traditions, Christian traditions, Christian beliefs, Christian inventions, he has taken the subject, very famous subject of creation of Adam, fall of Adam, and fall of Satan, angels. The action starts not from the very beginning, from the making of Adam and Eve, but it starts from the very midst when the angels have been fallen and they are in hell. The action starts from there. So here is written that it begins in the midst of an action with earlier crisis in the history brought out later by flashback, and it expresses the ideals and traditions of a people. Now, so the subject is taken from there, but the style, he has copied the style of Homer. Milton has copied the style of Homer, Iliad and Odyssey, and also Virgil's style in writing the poem. So what is the style of those poets? The style of those poets is epic style. He has used epic style in the Paradise Lost. Third one, it shows Milton's contempt for rhyming poetry as he wrote it in blank verse form, and he used iambic pentameter in the same way as Shakespeare did. Milton was against the rhyming poetry, rhyming couplets, lyrical poetry, subjective topics. He took a very famous topic and wrote in the form of blank verse. Also, it is rhythmic, but it is sort of rhyme scheme, and it is called blank verse. That was earlier made use of by Shakespeare in his plays, in his poetry. Now we come up to the story of the Paradise Lost. Before coming to the story, I would like to describe some aspects of epic poem. Paradise Lost is considered as an epic poem. The poem that deals with adventures of very grand personality, having supernatural power, magical powers, the creatures that have magical powers. For example, it is about the Saturn that has certain powers bestowed to him by the god. Also, there is mention of angels, and it describes the adventures, the fight scene, the war scene between good angels and bad angels. It also describes the intentions or the actions of gods. So in this sense, characters are supernatural things. So it is epic poem. The language, the epic poem is very long poem. Paradise Lost is also very long poems. Epic poem should be in episodic form. Paradise Lost is also in episodic form. Epic poem has very grand structure. Paradise Lost has also very grand structure, grand events and grand themes. The language used by Milton is very bombastic language. So it is, these all things are the characteristics of an epic poem. So in the very true sense, Paradise Lost is an epic poem. Now we come to the story of the Paradise Lost. So the first point is, the central storyline is built around a few paragraphs in the beginning of Genesis, story of Adam and Eve. So this book, Paradise Lost, is taken, the subject is taken from the book of Genesis, Old Testament. It is taken from the story of creation of Adam and Eve and their fall. Second point, he has taken many apart from Bible, Satan's role. Intentionally or unintentionally, Milton is described on devil's side. As William Blake says that he is on devil's side. Milton is on devil's side. The impression of the poem is like this. Third point is main focus is on the events surrounding the fall of man. So the main focus is on the fall of man. What things caused, what were the circumstances, what events, what are the things that caused the fall of man. Fourth point. Fourth point describes his intent. His intent. What is the purpose of writing the Paradise Lost? Milton himself says in the very beginning of his poem, he says his intent. His intent was to justify ways of God to men by tracing the cause of fall and result for all involved. And in this way, he described the cause of fall and result that befell after the fall of man. Fifth point. Milton's mission was to show the reason of man's fall and also its consequences. Already discussed. So there is another concept pertaining to this incident, this event. Many people believe on the concept of felix culpa that I have written in the slide. Concept of felix culpa mean fortunate fall. What is this felix culpa? This is a philosophy that people believe that if man did not come to earth, he would not so he would not be able to make use of many beneficial things on earth, or his beauty and his true worth could not be assessed, could not be tested. So many people believed on the concept of felix culpa that I have written in their slide. Culpa means fortunate fall. That a philosophy, the good ultimately evolved as a result of fall. So good was recognized, excellence, beauty was recognized after the fall of man. God's mercy, coming of Christ, redemption, salvation, leave us better place with opportunity for greater good than would have been possible without the fall. So these things could not have been happened if a man did not have fall.